Hi, Jess. Oh my gosh, are we? Yes. These are the best bar 3 leggings. Hey everyone. Hope we're all doing good. I'm just gonna give us a minute or two to let everyone on. Get my hair up out of my face. Hope everyone had a really great Thursday. Get some music going. All right, so welcome if you just joined. My name is Sydney. If you are new to bar 3 and you're joining us because we have online right now, so nice to meet you. We're just gonna do a 30-minute class today, but even though it's only 30 minutes, we're gonna get that nice deep muscle burn that we love at bar 3 going. And yeah, all you need is a mat. If you have a waist-high surface like the back of a couch or the back of a chair that you wanna hold on to for balance, you can always grab it. I'm gonna do some stuff with weights, but they're 100% optional. Work with what you've got and what your body needs tonight. Oh my gosh, Christine came. Hello. Okay. 1 second, and then we might as well get started. There we go. Okay. Love the painting. I will tell Leon. Thanks, Jess. All right, so let's get started. Hey everyone. If you just joined and you missed my spiel, it was basically, this is gonna be a 30-minute bar 3 class, and my name is Sydney. So if you can't hear me or need more louder music, have any sort of feedback, please feel free to type in the chat. But other than that, let's get started. So just find yourself on your mat, and we will just start with some breath. Oh, my headphones are in. Alrighty. Take a moment to just settle into your space. Wherever you are, primary posture, feet right under your hips. Tiny bend in your knees. Find your core right away, hug it in. And then take a big inhale at ears, up to shoulders, and then exhale, let it go. We're gonna start nice and small. Just take a breath in to lift. Exhale, just tuck your chin, drop your arms. This one can get a little bit bigger. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck and fold maybe about halfway. And then make this one even bigger and fold all the way down. One more like that. Lengthening your breath each time. On this one, we're gonna step the feet a little bit wider. Same thing, scoop up a lot of air at the bottom as you exhale so you can stand up with a little more energy. On this next one, we're gonna lift up and over to the right. 2 counts. You're gonna come down for 2, switch sides. So we're in our sumo squat here, feet wider than hips. Slight turn out of the toes. Just make sure knees and toes are pointing in the same direction. Hips come back. Core strong, shoulders soft. You've got 4 here. Using these opening movements to connect to your breath. 2. We're gonna keep squatting, but move a little faster and ditch this side bend. Follow me here. Arms are gonna come back and squeeze. So keep moving here. You really wanna rock your weight back. Glue into your heels so that your seat can activate as you stand tall. Check back in with your breath. We're gonna move through this 30 minutes with the music and with our breath. So once you start to feel that heat build in your body, I want you to keep checking back in. Make sure that you've got long inhales and even longer exhales. Just 4 here. 3, 2, we're gonna pause at the top. Hold here. Make a big X with your body. Feet come even wider than they just were. Toes face forward. Take a moment to find your core, wrap the ribcage in. Soften the shoulders down. A little more energy at your fingertips. We're gonna alternate sides in a warrior 2. So turn the right toes out, sink into that leg. Knee stacks right over ankle, shoulders over hips. And then use your breath to come back through center. All 10 toes face forward. Switch sides. Left toes turn out, sink down. 2 counts. You're gonna come up for 2, lower for 2. If the shoulders don't love this overhead reach, reach forward. I want you to listen to your body the same way you would in the studio, being really intentional in every move you do, every breath you take, so that you can modify if that's what you need tonight, or take it a little further if you're feeling energetic. 2 more each side. Using this moment to open through your hips and build a little extra heat on your seat. Last round. The next time you bend on the left, just pause. Hold in your warrior 2, make sure shoulders are stacked. Flip your front palm, we're gonna straighten the front leg, dance it back. Lots of length here, pause, big breath in. And then sink back into your warrior 2. Really root into that front leg. We're gonna pivot into a crescent lunge, come high on your back toes, square up your hips. Hands can come to heart to start, and just pause. You want that front knee right on top of your ankle. You want hips to be square, rib cage pulls in. Nice and slow, we're gonna flow. Find an incline, reach your fingertips forward. You got one nice long line from fingertips to heel. Take a moment to square off your hips. Root back down into that front heel. And then wrap your rib cage in towards your spine. We're gonna flow here. Arms come up to the side, come up right. And then sweep them forward as you come back into that incline. 2 counts again. You're gonna come up for 2, hinge for 2. So from the front, these arms are taking up space as you come up right, and then sweeping long as you hinge. Back to that breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Option to add on here. The next time that you hinge forward, back toes are gonna drag in, and then come up as you step back. Almost like you were swimming through water here. You want resistance in your arms, resistance in your lower body. Last 2. Last one. Hold on your incline. Just one breath here. Find more length. And then open back up through your X, through center, and switch sides. Open onto the right leg, or whatever side you haven't done. Settle into that warrior 2, and we'll dance it back when you get there. Take a moment, find length. Shoulders drop, rib cage drops. And then settle back into your warrior 2. Pivot high on the back toes, hips square. Come into your crescent lunge and just hold. Adjust whatever you need to inside 2. It might feel different, that's okay. Square off the hips whenever you get there. Rib cage pulls in, arms reach up. Find that flow. This time arms are gonna sweep as you hinge, and then to the side as you lift. So the same movements, we're just finding a little opposite flow with the arms. Come back to your breath. Inhale forward. Exhale, lift. Now decide here if you want that extra little movement in the legs, back toes in, and lift. Step back. In and hinge. Step back and lift. Hopefully by now you've got a little more heat in your body. If you can take this deeper, sink your hips further back. Press down into that right heel and just breathe into that fire. We've got 2. Last one. Come into your incline and then hold again. Just pause right here. Shoulders soft, rib cage in. Press the right heel down a little bit harder, squeeze your right seat, and then stand tall. Give your shoulders a little roll. We're gonna come straight into some lower body and upper body work. So if you have weights, now is a good time to grab them. Again, if you don't, no worries. I'll show you what it looks like with and without. We'll meet in an incline chair when you're ready. So feet right under your hips. Send your seat back and just hold. With or without the weights, the arms reach beside you, palms face each other. And just take a moment to sink into this shape. Heels ground, knees stack right over ankles, hips far back, rib cage in. Length through the crown of your head, soften in your shoulders. A little more length in your arms, no matter if you have weights or not. We're gonna pulse the hips. Down and down. Little tiny pulses. Take a peek at your knees. They are not pulsing forward here. This is all in your hips. Pulse them back. How are we doing, guys? Feel free to send a little fire emoji if you're feeling this. A little help emoji if you need to pause. I'm not going to cue any breaks in this 30 minutes, but please take water, towel, or a break anytime you need. Come back a little stronger. You've got 8 more pulses. This is 4, 3, 2, pause on 1. Peel your right heel up, lower down with control, left heel up, lower down with control. A little faster. Right and lift, left and drop. Option for the arms, we're gonna hammer curl, pull in and reach, in and reach. Paying attention here to your hips. They might wanna lift with that heel. You're not dancing side to side here. Keep those hips level. Keep this work in the back side of your body. Actively squeeze your seat. And then support your spine with your core. Belly button lifts. 4, 3, almost there. You got 2. 1 more each side. And then we're gonna lift the right heel and just hold. So pause right here. Hands come to heart. Your right heel is lifted. All your weight is in that left heel. We're gonna pulse the hips back again. When you're ready, back and back. So this pulse is really only an inch of movement, maybe even smaller if you can. It's in these really small ranges of movement where we find that deep muscle burn, which is what you guys love so much about bar 3. So don't shy away from that feeling that you're feeling right now. Try to use your breath to sink a little bit deeper into it. Just 4 on this side. And then we're gonna switch. 2 and 1, pause at the bottom, reset, drop your right heel, lift your left, root down into the right side, squeeze that right seat, pulse again. So with or without your weights, your hands are at heart. When we're hinged like this, having a little bit of weight in front of you acts like a nice counterbalance. So you can maybe send your hips a little further back and just keep your chest really bright. Breathe here. Soften where you don't need it. Engage where you can a little bit more. Check in with your awareness. When we do things two-sided and we hold them for a little while, the mind likes to leave. We like to think about other things, and the world is very distracting right now. So can you just use your breath to come back to this present moment? You only have 8. 7, make the most of this. We're gonna move really big and flush it out very soon. Just 4, 3, 2, lower that left heel down, move big, drop it down, and lift, drop, and lift. If you've got those weights, you can hammer curl here, or you can keep your weights at heart or hips. Embrace this big move. Should feel good. Release some of that tension you built in your muscles. Come back to that big, big breath. We've got 8 here, then we're gonna add on. This is 4, 3, 2, pause at the top on 1. With or without your weights, hug a big beach ball in front of you. Thumbs face the ceiling, rib cage wraps in. Now step your feet right under your hips, you're in primary. We're gonna step out to the side and then right behind you. Elbows come in as you step to sumo. Forward as you stand together, and then step that same foot back. Arms do the same thing. So whatever leg you decided to start on, I've got my left leg planted and I'm moving with my right. So this left leg is gonna do a little bit more work than my right. I'm rooting that heel into the floor, and I have an equal amount of pressure between pinky toe and big toe side of my foot. If you are feeling a little imbalanced today and moving in different directions doesn't feel good, either stick with this step back into a carousel horse, or stick with this step out to sumo. Two more each direction. If you don't have weights, create resistance with your body. If you do, kudos to you. Keep that chest bright, shoulders down. The next time you step back into your carousel horse, pause. Right here, we're gonna hold and pulse your hips down and down. Take a moment here to adjust your stance if you need to. You want that front knee to be right over your ankle. Back knee pointing straight towards the floor. Back heel super high. Hips square and level. If it feels like there's a lot of tension building in your back leg, and maybe the knee doesn't love that, just find a little slight hinge forward. This is where that waist high circus might come in handy if you need a little extra support for balance. Just 8 here. Move that front heel down. Actively squeeze your left seat for 4, 3, 2, hold on 1. We're gonna pause. 3, 2, we're gonna stand tall on 1. Straighten the back leg. Arms reach. Find that incline lunge and then upright carousel horse. Bicep curling here with or without your weights. Upper arms squeeze in. Decide if you want to stay here or if you feel really balanced. After this one, we're going to float the back leg, come into a warrior 3. Follow me. You're going to float for 2, drop back for 2. Now again, if you need a little extra support, find that waist high surface. Make sure hips are staying square. If you've got those weights, rock your bicep curls. Feel that burn in your entire body. We've got 2, then we're gonna hold. Hold at the bottom, pause right here. Final hold on this side. Option to peel your front heel up. Square off your hips again, sink them nice and low. You've got 4, 3, 2, slowly lower that heel, stand tall on 1. Drop your shoulders, hands back to heart. Again, with or without those weights. Second side, out to your sumo, drop for 2, lift for 2, step back. Arms here are gonna bicep tray. So palms face the ceiling. Find a nice wide V. Hands can come all the way up to shoulder height if that feels okay, or keep them at about belly button. Finding your energy on side 2. You really gotta root down into that supporting leg. Check in, see if anything needs to change on this side. One more each direction, and then we'll pause in your carousel horse. So step your foot back and just hold here. Coming into those pulses, hands can come to heart, hips down. How we doing? Yes, oh my god, my ass, that's what I want to hear, Christine. That's where you should be feeling it. So right in the base of that front leg seat, and then probably your quad on your back leg. Again, if that's too much pressure, just hinge forward. It'll bring more work into the front. Breathe, you got 8. 7, and then we're gonna move big. See if you can come a little lower, come up a little less. 4, 3, 2, hold at the bottom on 1, 4 counts. Readjust whatever you need to. Notice if your hips have shifted. Square off, reconnect to your core. Straighten that back leg. Arms reach, unhinge, curl in. Thinking about one long straight line from head to knee. You are hinging as one big body part. And that front knee is staying stacked over your ankle. Check in with your balance on side 2. We've got 2 more like this. Decide if you want to try to float that back foot. And then on your next one, find that hinge and float. Ooh, and land. Gracefully moving through space here. That's what I picture all of you doing at home. If that's not what's happening, that's okay. Just meet your body where it is today. Connect to your core. Don't let the hips do the work here. Last side. Pause for your final hold. Now you can stay right here. If you want a little extra balance challenge, play around with both legs lifted. Maybe both legs extended to the ceiling. Whew, full boat pose. Whatever you need right now. Maybe arms up beside your ears. You've got 4 big breaths. Squeeze the inner thighs together. That helps connect to the lower abdominals. And just shoulders soften. You only got 2. Big inhale on 1. Exhale light all the way down on your back. Take a moment to just release. Soften whatever you need to. Maybe windshield wiper those knees. Release your hips. We're gonna do pretty similar movements, just on our back. So basically what we just did, sitting tall, we're gonna do it on our backs. Squeeze your inner thighs together, with or without your weights, hands back in front of your chest. This time, tiny bend in your elbows, like you're hugging that big beach ball again. And we're gonna start with one arm at a time. Whichever arm you wanna start with, it's gonna open to a hover. Squeeze back up to lift. Even though we are lying down, I want you to keep that same energy that you had when we were standing. You will need your breath just as much here. Now, tons of options. If it doesn't feel good for your hips to have your knees lifted, feet can plant. And then when we add on legs, you can march if you're here. Let's do one more arm each side. On this next one, both arms are gonna open, and you're gonna alternate a leg extension. So right leg long, everything squeezes back to tabletop. Almost like a reverse march of what we were just doing sitting tall. Hopefully you can find a little more energy in your lower abs here. Think about space in between your hip bones so that you can press the belly button a little bit closer to your spine. And just notice as the arms open, as the leg extends, if your rib cage wants to pop open, just close it back in. You've got 4 here. This is your last 2. Check back in with your breath. The last one. Pause in your tabletop. Hold right here. I want you to zip your inner thighs together. Pretend you only have one big leg. Wrap the belly back in. We're just going to come into a final hold. Can you extend your legs a little further away from you? Maybe straight all the way. And then maybe your arms do the same overhead. Pause right here. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 big breath in. Reach everything longer. And then let it go. Give yourself a nice, well-deserved hug. You can roll side to side. And pretty much stay where you are. Legs about hip distance and just plant your feet down. We're gonna come right into some bridge lifts. Before you get there, reconnect to your core. All that energy we just built through center, I want you to keep that really, really strong. And then root down into your heels. Actively squeeze your seat and then lift your hips up. We're gonna flush it out to start. Hips just come down and lift. Drop and lift. So, lower body is warm. It already did a lot at the beginning of this half hour. So come back to that energy here. Don't just move through this motion. I want you to actively work your seat. Give it a big squeeze. Keep your core hugging in tight. We've only got a few more big. This is 4, 3, 2, hold at the top on 1. Last little bit of pulses. I want you to glue your feet down as much as you can. Come back to that long spine, and then just pulse your hips up. Little tiny taps. Again, think about your body only moving about 1 inch. If you actually picture 1 inch on a ruler, it's really small. The tempting thing to do here is to really thrust the hips. You want it to be a lot smaller than that. So we're gonna finish off this lower body burn. So I really want you to come back to that feeling that we had standing. Keep pressing the heels down. If you feel like you need more, think about dragging the heels in towards your seat. That little extra bit of tension will catch your hamstrings a little more. So that heat comes right where your seat meets your thigh. You got 8. This is 4, 3, 2, hold on 1. Without the weights, even if you have them, just reach your hands back over your chest. Notice if the shoulders got close to your ears, lower them, and then kind of wiggle them away from each other. Option here to float up on your toes, and then find more length on the front line of your body. This is your last hold for the legs, so I just want you to give this everything you've got. Maybe close your eyes. Tell yourself you can take this deeper for 4, 3, 2, big inhale on 1, exhale, let everything go. Give yourself another hug. We're gonna rock up and down our spine a few times. If this feels good, do it a little more. When you're done with that release, we're gonna meet in a forearm plank to finish class. Okay? So this is my favorite series to finish. You're gonna come into a forearm plank with your arms crossed. So make sure the elbow's still right under your forearm. We're gonna alternate opening into a side plank. So whenever you're ready, just glue your forearms down, step your legs long, ooh, my hair. Hips come to the same height as your shoulders. Take a moment to spread the shoulder blades out. Walk your feet so there's at least a foot in between them. And then we're gonna rotate. On the outside of your right foot, inside of your left. Left hand comes to the ceiling, lift your hips. Move at your own pace. You're gonna come back through center, back onto both toes. Switch sides. I want you to try to move slow and controlled here. So notice if your natural tendency is to fly through movements, challenge yourself to move a little bit slower. When we move slow like that, forces us to be really honest with where our body's at. There's no cheating, there's no momentum. It's all you. So just use whatever strength you have left right now. We're gonna wind down after this. Find one more each side, and then we will all meet on the right forearm. So take however long you need to get there. And when you do, just pause. Last little bit here. Find your right rib cage, hug it up into your left side. We just have 8 pulses, and then we're gonna switch. So hips pulse up and up. Just 4, 3, 2, we're gonna hold on 1. Option for this hold for 4 counts is to float your top leg. You got 4, 3, 2, gently, gracefully come back through center. Switch sides. 8 pulses. 7, 6, 5. This is 4, 3, 2. Hold on 1. You got 4 counts here. This is your last hold of class. See if you can float that top leg. 3, 2. Again, gracefully come back through center on 1. And we will meet in a child's pose. Knees drop, hips back, and release. Might feel good here to bring your arms back alongside you. Tuck your chin a little more, get any tension out of your shoulders. How we doing, guys? We started a teensy bit late, so we're gonna go a teensy bit over this 8 o'clock mark. Just so we have time to wind down, reset, before you guys get on with your nights. So from your child's pose, slowly come up, let your head come up last. Give your shoulders a few big rolls. And then take a big inhale, lift. Reach up and over to the right. Hips can stick out to the left. If it feels better to sit cross-legged, adjust however you need to here. I don't know about you guys, but that 30 minutes flew by. And it was probably the highlight of my day. So I hope that you guys leave this half hour feeling really good in your bodies, feeling grateful for the space you have, the body you have, and the health you have to do something like this. Pause at the top of your next inhale, and then just let your hands come down on top of your thighs. If it feels good, one hand on heart, one hand on belly, and just take a moment to soften. If it's comfortable, close your eyes or just look down towards the floor. Get rid of any fidgets that you naturally want to do in your body and just find stillness. Focusing on your breath for a few moments here, that's all you have to do. Start to find long inhales to the count of 4 through your nose, and the longer exhales to the count of 5 out of your mouth. It's a calming breath for your nervous system. Acknowledging right here, right now, how you feel in your body. And remember that you can come back to this kind of mindful breathing at any time throughout your day. When things start to feel a little chaotic or overwhelming, you can always find a sense of calm in your breath. Something that you are in control over. Last one here. Exhale, empty out completely. Let go if you were holding on. We'll meet in a little crouch. Just come up on your toes. And slowly make your way up to a forward fold. Hips lift, hinge. Try to keep your knees pretty soft and then just shake out whatever you need to. Head can shake, shoulders shake. Full breath in at the bottom. Nice and slow, roll up to stand. Head comes up last. Give yourself one big shoulder roll at the top, and we will close class with 3 breaths, just like how we started. On your own time, big inhale. Exhale, tuck your chin to fold. Using these last few moments to check in with how you feel. Hopefully it's a little bit better than 30 minutes ago. Pause at the top of this inhale, palms touch, pull them down through heart center. Take a moment of gratitude here, whatever you want to say to yourself for carving these 30 minutes out of your day. And I would like to say thank you to all of you for spending this time with me. I couldn't see you, but I knew that you were killing it. You were sweating just as much as me. So thank you for staying a part of our community. And stay tuned for more. Bye, guys.